Sometimes God leads us to places we would have never chosen for ourselves. At 18, that place for me was South Africa, the one place I didn't want to go to, and the one I would end up falling in love with. But before I tell you why I fell in love with South Africa, I have to tell you why I didn't want to go there. The Journey of a Fearless Soul. Episode 2, the trip to South Africa I never wanted. After my sister died, I became the good girl. The girl who studied, the girl who obeyed, the girl who brought home good grades. The girl who tried very hard never to become a disappointment. In high school, I was not invisible anymore. Boys noticed me. They competed for my attention. Some tried to impress me. Some tried to win me. But I was not interested in becoming anyone's story. I had learned too early that girls could be judged. Girls could be blamed. Girls could be reduced to mistakes. So I protected myself. I said no, again and again. No to the boys, no to temptation, no to anything that could turn me into the kind of girl people whispered about. I was still trying to be seen, still trying to be worthy, still trying to become the daughter no one could dismiss. And for a while, achievement became my safest language. If I was excellent, maybe I would be valued. If I was obedient, maybe I would be protected. If I was perfect, maybe I would finally be enough. But perfection is a small room, and life was about to push me out of it. In Cameroon, many parents dreamed of sending their children abroad. France, Canada, the United States, Europe. Those names had weight. They sounded like success before anyone had even arrived. My mother wanted that for me. She was educated, strong, independent. She had worked hard, and she had the means to give her daughter a future beyond the world we knew. So first, we tried France. France made sense to me. We spoke French. I could imagine myself there. I prayed for it. I hoped for it. I waited. But at the last moment, it did not happen. The visa did not come. The door closed. So my mother tried again. This time, Canada, Montreal, French-speaking, far away, big, respected, a place that made people nod when you said its name. And I wanted it. Oh, I wanted Canada. In my teenage mind, Canada was not only a country, it was proof. Proof that I was going somewhere important. Proof that my grades had meant something. Proof that the good girl was finally being rewarded. And this time, everything seemed to be working. The documents, the plan, the hope. There was only one thing left. My mother had to inform my father. My father had his own plan. He wanted to send my brother to South Africa, the son born the same year as me, the son who carried his name, the future king. And when my mother told him that she had arranged for me to go to Canada, he refused. Not softly, not thoughtfully, completely. He said there was no way I would go to Canada while my brother went to South Africa. Either we both went to South Africa, or I would not go anywhere. Just like that, Canada disappeared. Not because I had failed, not because my mother could not pay, not because the dream was impossible, but because once again, My life had been measured beside the boy. And once again, the boy decided the size of my world. I was devastated. I did not want South Africa. I barely knew South Africa. In my young mind, South Africa was not the dream. The dream was France. The dream was Canada. The dream was the countries everyone talked about with admiration. South Africa felt like the consolation prize, and I was ashamed of it. The day came anyway. Suitcases were packed, goodbyes were said. My brother was excited. My cousin was excited. They had not lost another country in their imagination, but I had. I was not only leaving Cameroon, I was leaving the version of my future I had already loved. At the airport, I bumped into a girl from my high school. When she heard I was going to South Africa, she laughed. Everyone else, she reminded me, was going to France, Europe, America, Canada, and I was going to South Africa. The worst part was not that she laughed. The worst part was that I believed her. I believed that I was going somewhere smaller, somewhere less impressive, somewhere I would have to explain. That is the arrogance of youth sometimes. We think we know the value of a door before we have even walked through it. On the plane, I cried. Not loudly, not dramatically, just enough for my body to tell the truth my mouth could not. I was grieving Canada. I was grieving the future I thought I deserved. I was going to South Africa, and I did not want to go. Then we arrived, Cape Town. And the first thing South Africa did was surprise me. It was beautiful. Not a little beautiful, not politely beautiful, powerfully beautiful. The kind of beauty that makes your expectations suddenly feel very stupid. I had arrived carrying disappointment, and South Africa greeted me with mountains, with ocean, with light, with space. As if the country itself was saying, "You do not know me yet." And I did not. I did not know the country. I did not know the history. I did not know the people. I did not know the culture. I did not know that one day when people asked me about the most beautiful places I had ever seen, Cape Town would still live near the top of my answer. I did not know I would fall in love with the country I never wanted. We were placed in a language program, Eurocenters. Students came from everywhere, Germany, Angola, France, different countries, different accents, different stories. The idea was simple. We would improve our English, but not only in class. We would live with host families. We would be separated. No hiding inside French, no hiding inside familiarity. For 6 months, we were not allowed to speak French. My brother went to one family, my cousin went to another, and I went to mine. For the first time in my life, I was not under my mother's shadow, not under my father's roof, not inside the noise of our big house, not beside the future king. I was alone, and I was terrified, but I was also free. My host family was the Jaffa family, a Muslim family. Kind, warm, generous. They had 3 children, 1 girl, 2 boys. And somehow, this home that was not mine became the first place where I began to breathe differently. I learned their rhythms, their food, their customs, their prayers. At some point, I even did Ramadan with them. Not because I had to, but because kindness opens curiosity, and curiosity opens the heart. Their home did not look like the home I had left behind. Their faith was not exactly mine. Their family rhythm was different, but I felt welcomed. And sometimes being welcomed by strangers teaches you something painful. It teaches you that love does not always need to be complicated. Sometimes it is simply a place at the table, a warm meal, a gentle voice, a home where nobody is afraid of the sound of the gate. In Cameroon, I had grown up with privilege. Not the kind children always understand while they are inside it, but it was there. Drivers took us places. People knew who my father was. People knew who my mother was. Our family name entered rooms before we did. Certain doors opened. Certain things were easier. Certain cues were not always for us. Then I arrived in South Africa, and suddenly, I was ordinary. At the bank, I waited like everyone else. In offices, I waited like everyone else. In ordinary places, I was treated like an ordinary person. Nobody knew my father. Nobody cared who my mother was. Nobody moved aside because of our name. At first, it felt strange, almost insulting. Then slowly, it became humbling, and then freeing. There is a strange freedom in becoming ordinary. No title to protect, no family name to carry, no reputation to perform. Just me, standing in line, learning that the world did not owe me special treatment, and also learning that I could survive without it. Then one day, I heard a horn. For 1 second, my body forgot where it was. It did not hear South Africa. It heard Cameroon. It heard the gate. It heard children scattering. It heard conversations dying. It heard silence entering the house before my father did. It heard the lion. Then I remembered. He was not here. The lion was far away. The horn did not belong to him. And for the first time, I understood something my mind had not yet been able to explain. I was out of the cage. Freedom does not always arrive like joy. Sometimes it arrives like fear leaving the body slowly. Sometimes it arrives as a room where you are allowed to remain calm, a sound that no longer controls you, a door that does not open to danger, a country you did not want, quietly becoming the place where your nervous system learns a new language. At school, I learned English, but that was not the only language South Africa taught me. It taught me how to walk into a room where nobody knew my story. It taught me how to make friends without my family name. It taught me how to become interesting without being perfect. It taught me that the world was much bigger than the house I came from. At first, my English was careful. Every sentence had to pass through fear. Was it correct? Was my accent strange? Would people laugh? But little by little, words came. Then jokes, then confidence, then friendships. And with every new sentence, another part of me stepped forward. In Cameroon, I had been the good girl, the obedient girl, the daughter, the sister, the girl trying to be seen. In South Africa, I began to meet someone else, myself. South Africa also taught me history differently. In Cameroon, so much of what we admired looked outward. Europe, the West, the countries we were told represented success. But in South Africa, I encountered another kind of pride, a painful pride, a wounded pride, a pride that had survived. I learned more about apartheid, about Nelson Mandela, about Robben Island. about a country that had carried deep wounds and still found ways to sing, dance, argue, rebuild, remember. It was not a perfect country. No country is. There were still divides, white, black, colored, communities shaped by history, pain, survival, and identity. People sometimes assumed I was colored because of my light skin, but I was not. I was Black, African, Cameroonian, and somehow in South Africa, I began to feel the weight and beauty of that more deeply. I had gone there thinking I had missed out on the better country, but South Africa started giving me something I had not known how to ask for: a stronger relationship with Africa, with Blackness, with history, with myself. It is humbling to be wrong, especially when life proves you wrong beautifully. I had judged South Africa before meeting it. I had let other people's ideas tell me what was impressive. I had believed that some destinations made you important and others made you explain yourself. But Cape Town did not need my approval to be magnificent. South Africa did not need my teenage permission to be worthy. It simply opened itself. And slowly, I opened too. I went from shame to wonder, from disappointment to gratitude, from feeling sent away to feeling invited into a new version of my life. I saw beauty everywhere, in the mountains, in the sea, in the people, in the complexity, in the cultures, in the history, in the pain, in the joy. South Africa was not the country I had wanted, but it became one of the most beautiful countries I had ever known. At night, I sometimes thought about home, my mother, my siblings, the house, the gate, the horn, the lion. But distance changes the size of things. When you are inside fear, fear feels like the whole world. When you step away from it, you begin to see its edges. My father was still my father. His shadow still lived in me. But for the first time, his shadow was not covering everything. I could wake up without wondering what mood he was in. I could laugh without listening for footsteps. I could make mistakes in English and nobody turned them into shame. I could be ordinary. I could be young. I could be free. And freedom, for a girl who had spent her life trying to be perfect, was not simple. It was almost frightening. Because when nobody is controlling you, you have to discover who you are. I did not become myself all at once. No one does. I became myself in small moments. The first time I understood a joke in English without translating it in my head. The first time I walked somewhere alone and found my way back. The first time I realized nobody was coming to rescue me and I was not helpless. The first time I saw the ocean and felt small in a way that did not make me feel less. The first time I laughed from my stomach without looking over my shoulder. These moments looked ordinary, but they were not. They were the building blocks of a woman I had not met yet. South Africa did not erase my childhood. It did not heal everything. It did not magically make me fearless. But it gave me distance. And sometimes, distance is the first mercy. When I cried on the plane, I thought life had taken something from me. I thought Canada was the dream I had lost. I thought South Africa was the answer I had to accept because I had no choice. But life is strange. Sometimes the place we resist becomes the place that introduces us to ourselves. Sometimes the road we would never choose becomes the road that changes everything. Sometimes the country we never wanted becomes the country we never forget. I wanted Canada. Life gave me South Africa. And South Africa gave me something I did not yet have the wisdom to request. Freedom, perspective, humility, pride, a wider world, a softer home, a new language, a new self, and eventually a new chapter. Looking back, I find it beautiful how quietly God works. There were no signs, no voices from heaven, no feeling that my life was about to change. Just another classroom, another student, another ordinary morning. Sometimes, the moments that change our lives arrive so gently, we don't even notice them. What happened next? Well, sometimes the place we resist the most is the very place where God chooses to answer our prayers.